Hello, 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 and welcome everyone. I am Dumb Toes, and today I'm going to be talking about rap. Well, at least I'm going to be talking a little bit about rap. I'm going to be talking about one rapper. Please like and subscribe. That would help me out a bunch. And you can click that bell notification. You'll get notified whenever I drop a new video. That would help a lot. Help me, please. Also, I'm standing up once again, which is kind of different. I did this in my last video when I talked about clothes and showed you guys some cool band tees, and someone said they liked the setup, so I'm like, shoot, let me do it again. And if you guys don't like it, I'll go back to sitting down on my couch. But hell yeah, let's get into the video. Quit the yapping. I'm going to be talking to you guys about what I've been listening to recently, and the title of this video I think will be What's in My Rotation? ? And the first person I want to talk about is a rapper, artist, whatever you want to call it. I believe a rapper. 2HOLLIS. Now, I don't know if this is going to reach a lot of newer viewers, and if you are not informed with who I am, I'm Dumb Toes, aka Ricky, and I used to be in the rap game a little bit with SoundCloud era 2015, 2014, 2016, around there, and I believe the last rap album I was really paying attention to was in 2020 by the rap collective group Suicide Boys. I don't know if I can actually say that word out loud or get demonetized. Oh no, Suicide Boys, you know who I'm talking about. And I think the album's called Stop Staring at the Shadows. So yeah, definitely kind of unk status when it comes to newer rap. I'm not that up to date. I do kind of have my finger on the pulse a little bit with people like NFR podcasts. They talk about rap, Fantano, stuff like that, but I'm not really into it crazy a bunch like I used to be. I want to know everybody that's in the underground. Not like that anymore, but some people do recommend cool rappers, and I've been seeing 2HOLLIS a lot recently, a very popular artist rapper in the game at the moment, and I know that because popping up in my feeds like crazy on TikTok, on Twitter, and yeah man, I am fascinated by the clips I'm watching from live performances, and I want to touch on that live performance aspect because I always see these clips where he's just going crazy, dancing to the music. Everybody in the crowd is bouncing. And I don't know, I just saw that feeling and I was like, oh my God, that looks so fun, to the point where I was like, dude, I think I want to go to a show or something. I got to go see 2HOLLIS perform. And I've never really had that factor besides Ken Carson recently, at least from this newer generation of rappers. And I apologize if I am mistaken, but I believe Ken Carson brought out 2HOLLIS on his recent tour. I don't know if they're actually on the tour right now. I don't know, man. I just found out about him because of his most popular songs like Jeans and Trauma. And if that makes me a bandwagoner, totally understand, dude. I totally understand. We're like, bro, you weren't here before the hype. I know. I'm at the point where the hype is at its probably highest. Now I'm going to talk about some stuff that I've heard about him from the fan comment section point of view and some facts about him, I guess. I've heard that he produces his own beats, and I'm like, that is pretty wicked. I've actually seen some negative comments where people are like, he should just stick to making beats because that is his strong suit, I feel like. I love how aggressive he is in songs like Trauma, and I wish he kind of tapped into that a little bit more, but I still haven't listened to everything 100%. I am not afraid of being put on, though. I've been listening recently. I haven't caught up with literally every album, so that's probably my bad. I should probably listen to the albums before I speak, but that's my point of view right now. Now, from the fan perspective, I see a lot of you either love him or you think it's straight garbage. All this music is garbage by 2HOLLIS. I've heard a lot of people say that he sounds like Netspend as well, and I have heard of Netspend, and I wouldn't agree with that. I am aware of Netspend. That is one rapper that blew up my comment section when I made a TikTok about wanting to learn about newer rappers, try to get into the scene a little bit more, and that was probably the #1 commented rapper, Netspend, and I don't even think they sound alike whatsoever. 2HOLLIS to me, more than anything, sounds like Blade, and I feel like that's just from the experimental aspect a little bit, sometimes a little bit in the voice with the auto-tune, but not too much. But I would say Blade is probably the fair comparison to 2HOLLIS. And I've said this before, Netspend has always sounded like Matt Ox to me, and that's not a dig or anything like that whatsoever. That's not slander. I've always been a fan of Matt Ox. I prefer Matt Ox, to be honest, to Netspend, and Netspend is just not for me. So I want to give Netspend credit because he has a humongous fan base at this point. I think 2HOLLIS is going on tour soon, I believe. I just saw a graphic a couple days ago and I'm like, dude, I kind of want to pull up I kind of want to. I might not. I most likely will not, but I definitely would like to go to a show at one point because the performance clips I be watching, I'm like, dude, I just want to like get lost in that crowd as well. A big talking point whenever you bring up 2HOLLIS and his success right now, there are a lot of people talking about how 2HOLLIS has a family member within the industry, but that doesn't really bother me. That has always happened within music, and that's kind of been the norm for a while, man. It's kind of hard to be that artist, not just rap, but band that comes from nothing and becomes something great. It's so hard to do that. So I don't really have a problem with 2HOLLIS having somebody in the family that's in the industry helping out with whatever financially, but I would have more of a problem if 2HOLLIS was talking about coming from nowhere, you know, that sort of thing where it's like, I got it out the mud. It's like, no, you didn't. If it was like that, I would be standoffish and it would totally make me feel a different way about 2HOLLIS. But from what I've been listening to, he doesn't really talk about stuff like that. Again, haven't listened to everything he's released. I am okay with being proven wrong, but I haven't heard him be like, yeah, man, I came out of nowhere. I came from nothing, stuff like that. All I get from 2HOLLIS is good vibes, and bro just wants to make music. So yeah, big fan right now. That's pretty much all I got to say about 2HOLLIS and rap in this video. Anyways, let's move on to something else. Numero Group. Have you guys heard of that? Or that label, that record label? Well, if you haven't, you have been living under a rock. And let me just educate you a little bit, not on their history, but what they've been doing and some bands I've been listening to from their label. I kind of see them picking up a couple 90s bands' discographies and putting them out on streaming services like Spotify, stuff of that nature, which I use because I believe you could only find these certain bands and their albums on YouTube, but Numero Group has been helping out from what I understand. All these cool ass bands that are goated, that are so fun, that it kind of got overlooked back then. Okay, so I'm going to talk about 3 bands that kind of fall under that Numero Group assistance, kind of, I believe. And the first one I want to talk about is the Lazarus Plot. I'm not afraid to admit that I don't have a bunch of knowledge and I know every band in history. The Lazarus Plot, I'm a huge fan of. And when I first listened to them, I was like, oh my God, is this a new band with this OG emo sound? I was thinking to myself, I'm like, oh my God, this band is fantastic. Literally nobody today, at least that I know of, tries to sound like OG 90s emo. And it's not a sad thing, but I wish more bands would do that because it's either scrams or Midwestern, stuff of that nature. But this one just kind of has that little kick to it. And the Lazarus Plot from Illinois are so good. The vocals within this band are great. The chemistry unfolds fairly quickly, and this band excites me. The song Ending Time is perfect. It's perfect. I love this band. This band is amazing. The next band I wanted to talk about is a band that my lovely Alexa actually put me onto, and that is Penny Curvers. They legitimately only have 2 songs out on Spotify, but to me, no worries, because they are bangers. Daredevil and Halo, pretty ass flower-like tunes. And of course, my beautiful Alexa put me onto that sort of band. Like I said, I don't have humongous knowledge on every single band in the world, so I'm curious if Penny Curvers has more music that is yet to be released on streaming services, Spotify. And yeah, man, I'm excited for whatever. Honestly, they can make a record right now and I would listen to it. And the last band that I want to talk about from the Numero Group kind of umbrella is the band Thumbnail. They are chaotic as can be, and their self-titled album is outrageous. It makes you want to run through a brick wall. 2 of them, actually. So yeah, that's kind of the wrap up of the Numero Group bands that are freaking wicked and have been killing it and are underrated, underappreciated, and bands I've been listening to recently. And I have more bands to talk about, but that's that for the Numero Group stuff. The next band that I want to talk about and shed some light on is the band Cicada Head. I guess they're kind of bedroom scrams pop. I believe that's how they introduce themselves or categorize themselves as. And I would like to describe this music as the music you hear in your dream. If you're in your dream and you're walking on some clouds, this is the type of music I believe would be played in the background. I love these songs on their new EP, S/T Volume 2. I don't know if that stands for something. My bad if I am completely stupid, but the best song on there is Nuns Don't Work on Sundays. I love that song, dude. Melting in your bed frame. Are you serious? And then screaming it like a minute after you say it silently. Oh, that song has been in heavy rotation. And my rotation also consists of Title Fight, of course. I'm always listening to Title Fight. Lately, I've been listening to Western Haikus on literal repeat. It's the first song I listen to when I get in my car, drive to work. Once I'm at work, it's the last song I'm listening to, dude. It's so perfect. I love yelling that stuff at literally 6 in the morning. But another Title Fight song I've been listening to like crazy is Receiving Line. I think that's on their Spring Songs EP, and it is so chill, but it's so damn perfect. And the last sort of piece of amazing music I've been listening to recently is Strictly Ballroom, and you guys could totally see my Strictly Ballroom shirt right here. I think it's so funny because the song New Angels has this crazy bass, and in my car it plays so loudly, and it's so funny. I don't know, it's badass. It's a badass tune, dude. I love that song. And I've been listening to pretty much that compilation album from all their collected recordings. Awesome band, and I'm wearing the shirt like I said. So yeah, Strictly Ballroom. So that pretty much wraps up what's in my rotation. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that discussion of 2HOLLIS. I know that pretty much was half of the video or more. I don't know, depending on how much I cut out, because I was yapping up a storm. I love finding new bands too, especially 90s bands that I've never really heard of, very obscure, and I don't care if that makes me sound pretentious or whatever, but sometimes you find some gems. Please let me know what you have been listening to. Please like and subscribe as well. That would help me out a bunch. You guys already know that. I said that in the beginning of this video. Let me know if you like this setup. The camera is literally standing on some sort of contraption just so I can get the whole view of my wall. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of this stuff. If it's trash, let me know. I'll go back, like I said, to sitting down on my couch. I know you guys probably didn't notice, but I have my laptop over there. I try to have a cool, nice touch in the background, but I was pretty much blocking it the whole time, you know, so doesn't really matter. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. Keep the music alive. 2HOLLIS will never die.